So another weekly garden update. Today is Wednesday the 18th, May 18th. And as you can see behind me, I finally have stairs. So, dug up the garlic in there. This stuff needs to get dug up. But if I just look down here, my garlic is pretty pathetic. You can see that tiny little bulb. Not sure if that's, I planted the wrong variety, or I don't know. Might not do that again. Tomatoes are also looking pretty bad, and I've talked to several other people. Most of them don't have this end rot issue that's everywhere on my tomatoes. But nobody in the area seems to actually be getting real fruit. And I'm also pretty sure the seeds I saved were actually from a hybrid tomato, because I've got some funkiness going between my different plants. I've tried adding calcium to the soil here to deal with this end rot. I've done the crushed up Tums and water and stick it down there. I've tried adding just straight up pouring milk into the soil. I picked up some generic, I can't remember the brand, tomato fertilizer, and tried putting a bunch of that down. As you can see, a lot of it's still on the surface there, hasn't worked its way in yet. But yeah, my tomatoes are pretty much garbage this year. And most of the people in the area have been telling me they're getting similar results, because pretty much, again, weird weather. It's been unusually hot. On the other hand, I'm moving in 2 weeks, so don't really care that much, because I'm not going to get anything else out of this garden. And just kind of moving on, you can see I pruned a lot of my tomatoes yesterday and got a lot of that garbage. And I'm not composting these because I don't know if there's some sort of disease. I've also got a lot of this on leaves on my tomatoes. Definitely hasn't been a good tomato year. You can see this plant has actually just been dropping fruit. And that's all rotten anyway, so there's not much point in doing anything with it. I'm going the opposite order around the garden today. My onions are finally starting to bulb up. And now, I planted about 200 of these. Some of them are just in various places here around the garden. This middle section of onions were actually sets that were intended for scallions, and I've just kind of let them go. So I've got here, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the 1015Y onions actually bulbed. Now, if I go over here to the other side of the garden, you'll see all of these grow bags were actually originally purchased for onions, and like these are tiny. There's like nothing there. A couple of these are small bulbs. I'll show you some more bulbs in a few minutes, but they're itty bitty. I think what happened is I didn't have these in a place where they were getting enough light early on. So next time onions get a whole lot more light. Empty grow bag that used to have garlic in it. Here is my attempt to grow ginger. As you can see, I've got like one stem coming up there and one kind of really little one. I don't know if that's even alive anymore. My corn has gone weird. Buddy of mine who did corn last year said it should get to be about 4 feet before it starts going to seed and all. This is not 4 feet. So I have no idea if I'm going to get corn out of this or not. But whatever. I think that's actually the beginning of an ear there. Yeah, these are, the tops are what's going to throw out the pollen, and that bottom thing is going to be an ear of corn, maybe. So, another learning opportunity. I think that needed a whole, turn around. The corn probably needed a whole lot more fertilizer because it's really stunted. Another failing tomato. As you can see, it's ripening, but the bottom is all rotten. So I think next year I'm just going to start with completely new seeds. And this is what I mean about them not looking right. Because all of my seeds were out of two, what I thought were Roman tomatoes. And like, these things don't look like Roman tomatoes. And they're also rotten on the bottom. Camera, pick that up. So, garden fail. Go over, take a look at the peppers. Need to spray again for bugs, it looks like. I'm getting a couple Tabascos growing there. Or not Tabascos, habaneros growing there. No color and they're still small. Looks like there's one fruit over here on this one. Got a bunch of bug pressure. I'm just going to cut off the leaf that's turning yellow. So my Serrano that started from store-bought has got some fruit on it. I'll probably harvest those soon. In theory, most of these peppers should actually change colors, and we'll get them like turning red when they're ripe. You got to leave them on for a long time, and most of the peppers I see in the store are still green, so I don't see any reason not to harvest them green. Last year I harvested a couple habaneros that were still green, and those were some of the best habaneros I got. They were like, they had spice, where the orange ones, you know, they still wanted to murder me, but they weren't quite as spicy. Okay, on to the Tabascos. Yeah, there's onions everywhere in this garden. So, up here, it's starting to put on fruit, and they're pointing up. Tabascos, along with Thai chilies, are some of the few peppers that actually grow up. So you can see those are pointing up, where if you compare that to, say, the Serrano and back, they hang down. There's actually only 6 different families of peppers, and you can crossbreed within a family, but not across different families. So the Tabascos and Thai chilies, and there's a few others that grow pointing up, are actually a different family of peppers that won't crossbreed with other peppers, or with peppers outside that family. You could probably do like Thai chilies and Tabascos if you wanted to hybridize those. But unfortunately, poblanos and habaneros will not crossbreed, which is sad because I really wanted poblano. Get the taste of the poblano along with the heat of the habanero would have been great, but no, apparently you can't actually crossbreed them. It makes me sad. Okay, continuing, speaking about poblanos, this one looks horrible, and I have no idea why. Maybe throw some fertilizer on there, but that only piece of fruit I've got's half yellowing and looks like it's dying. Here's the thing that was labeled as being jalapenos seeds, but as you can see from the flowers up top and the classic tomato leaves, I mislabeled it. That's a tomato. Here's my other poblano from seed. This one's, if I step back a little, you can see that one's looking a whole lot healthier. Let me get to the other side. Yeah, easier to see from this side. It's at least healthier. Hopefully do something about the yellowing leaves. So we've got, once again, my bed of, this was supposed to be just scallions, and I didn't keep up with cutting the scallions off, and we're just going to see if they bulb. And since I'm out here, might as well claim, yeah, that one's done growing. Oh, it's big. Okay, big by my standards. Onion. Yeah, same thing. If they just flop over, they're done growing. Finger under there. That's a bit bigger. And that's it, my kind of pathetic onions. And now I'm going to go water everything and see if I can get grass to grow there. We'll see how it goes. This would probably be more interesting with music, but I'm too lazy to put music here, so... And of course the hose gets wrapped around something. You know, looking at how much runoff I get from this dirt, I'm not sure how effective this watering is. I should probably rearrange the dirt so things can pool up better. Next garden's gonna get a whole lot more space, so I don't have to keep wandering around or dealing with the hose tripping me up so much. Another knocked over, should have been a tomato, but isn't. You know, Crocs are super comfortable in the garden, but I've got a stick in my left foot. So maybe I should switch to something else. Yeah. Kind of annoying.